Hey, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show. Thanks for tuning in to the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM. If you're interested in sponsoring my show, you can send me an email to the MikeWagnerShow@gmail.com, or you could also donate to the podcast. Just go to the Donate Listen site, and you can also donate whatever you like. Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. For those who are interested, Anchor can give you everything you need in one place for free, which you can use right from your phone or computer. We got creation tools, allows you to record and edit podcasts so it sounds great, and they'll distribute the podcast for you so it can be heard everywhere. Spotify, Apple, Google, many more. And you can make money from the podcast with no minimum listenership. So download the Anchor app for free or go to Anchor FM to get started.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all you needs. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition rate. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio, and over 35 podcast platforms. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Also follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're back with a wonderful gentleman who paired up with James Henry doing sort of like state-to-state broadcast. Of course, James Henry was out in the Pacific Northwest, and this gentleman from good old Tennessee, you are on the show just going back and forth and playing some music, cracking jokes and everything. It's almost like a comedy duo that was about a few months back, but this time this gentleman here is going to be doing things his way. And he's got songs out called The Flag, We Never Came Home, and a couple more. And he's got a movie he's working on right now. We'll talk about that. But first, live in beautiful Tennessee, ladies and gentlemen, the man returns, Kenny Lee. Kenny, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us once again.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, Mike.
Well, we're glad to have you back as well, too. And this time you're running solo here. So, well, you know what that means when you go solo. You're pretty much on your own. I'm sure you're used to that by now. So,
yeah, I'm used to that. I do that quite often, all the time, pretty much. Mr. James is my good friend. He's a good buddy, and I love working with him. But, I'm a music producer, director, singer, songwriter, actor. I do all kinds of things and do a lot of stuff out there on my own. Mm-hmm. But nothing's really ever on your own. You know that.
Right, exactly. And of course, we had you on as well, too. And you got some songs coming up and also a movie project in the works. And once again, quickly tell us how you got started.
Well, yeah, I got a lot of things going on. What do you want to hear about first, Mike? Is it the movie or?
Let's quickly talk about your career and how you got started. And of course, you talked about in the last one, but this time maybe just the abbreviated version.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I know you're excited, but it's okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I grew up in a small town called Camden, South Carolina. Actually, Westville, between it's kind of between Camden and well, it was Camden, Lugop, all that area anyway. And went to this old high school out there called Barony Cab, and I used to even ride my horse to school, man. It was crazy. It was like the old days back then. But I always played the guitar and stuff around and brought it around during the lunch breaks and stuff, and everybody always wanted me to sing. They called me cowboy back then. But, I had a lot of fun back in those days. Even rode rodeo a little bit and some other things, and loved my horses and stuff. But I always sang and wrote songs and stuff. But from there on, from probably about 5 or 6 years old.
Wow.
My father was in the military, and he served in Nam several times. Served in Korea too. He was a career soldier, and today's today's Memorial Day. And can we go back and take that again, Mike?
What's that?
Can I back up and take that again? Can you cut it? I'm sorry.
Sure, we can do that.
I'm sorry, man. You just have to remember.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, you were saying?
Yeah, my father's was a career soldier. My father, he didn't die in the battlefield. Of course, I know he'd have rather died in the battlefield. He died of complications of Agent Orange from the battlefield. Mm-hmm. Today is Memorial Day, and I want to thank all the soldiers and all the veterans and active military for all they do for us and all they do for this country. This country would be in a sad shape if we didn't have them. They're our true heroes, and they're like the frontline responders too, the first responders. Always they're amazing, and I'd like to dedicate what we're doing today, Mike, to them.
Mm-hmm. And of course, getting through the pandemic as well, too, that, the need for the military and everything else is much more critical than ever. And of course, I heard a report that some members of the military even came in to help out the nurses and doctors in many hospitals.
Oh, yes, they did. They were bringing people. They're bringing people in from all over the place. New York's pretty hard hit. So I know my daughter's a nurse, and she also is a singer, but she was offered to go up to New York for 3 weeks at a time. But she has a job being on the front line here as a nurse, and taking care of some other people and stuff. And so one of her friends actually was called up there. She's on the front line, and she's working really hard. And there's things that she's seen up there that just blows her mind, though. There's a lot of, you hear a lot of people talk about this, about that. You hear the mayor up there and the governor talking. Makes you wonder what really is going on. It just gets very confusing here lately, don't you think, Mike?
Mm-hmm. It seems like it, too. They get so many stories from so many different sources. And thanks to social media, instead of getting like your sources from, the 4 networks back in the past, like ABC, CBS, NBC, and PBS, now you got, before it was like Fox, CNN, and many other cable outlets, and now you got like just so many social outlets, YouTube, Hulu, and Reuters, and oh geez, what else? It's like so much social media out there: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and just a lot. And sometimes you wonder, it's like what sense can we really make out of this?
It gets very confusing, and there's so much propaganda out there, and people, I don't know if some people are just making up things just to get attention for themselves, maybe to get YouTube views and make money off of that. But I'm going to tell you, it's wrong. If you don't know what you're talking about, don't speak. Mm-hmm. Don't get Americans in a panic. They're already in a panic. We don't need to make it any worse. There's got to be a stop to that somehow. But the social media, you're right. It's man, it covers a lot of ground, but there's a lot of stuff out there that's not true, and there's a lot of stuff that is true. But people are being confused right now to like really crazy. Like, you know, we just gotta. Everybody needs to get it under control and think about the other person, the other people listening. Make sure you're telling the truth, and don't repeat hearsay. Only if you know the truth.
Mm-hmm. And do you think people are reacting properly to the coronavirus, or do you think people are overreacting?
I think myself, my personal opinion of myself, I think in some ways they're overreacting. Mm-hmm. In some ways they're not. I do think if we have a pandemic, which we do, the virus is real. But, you know, I'm not sure it's any worse than the regular flu. It's hard to I think, and I'm going to say this right here on the air, I think that the World Health Organization kind of set us up with the Chinese. With China. I think this is a lot of this maybe was on purpose. You know, we do have an election coming up, you know, mm-hmm. and they have tried every way they can in the past to kick our president out. And, you know, this could just be another way of using this to do the same thing, you know, and I think he responded in plenty of time. I think he did from what he knew of what was going on, you know. As soon as he knew what was going on, he stopped the flights from over in China and everything. But they were trying to impeach him at the same time, you know. So, hey, you know, come on. The guy's doing a good job. Let's give him a break and give him a chance, everybody. You know, he truly does love America. I've met him and talked to him myself personally. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And of course, you know, what words did he have to say with you, though?
Well, quite a few things. You know, I asked him one time, I said, well, everybody says you're going to start World War III. And, you know, what do you think? What do you got to say? And he said, what are you, a reporter now? But he said, no, let them think that. That way they won't mess with us. But, you know, I thought that was kind of a cool answer, you know. But, you know, it's Trump. Trump's Trump. And the man's very brilliant. He kind of has a foresight. He kind of sees what's coming in a lot of ways. But I think that's because God has anointed him and taught him all these years to do the job he's doing now. That's my opinion. Everybody has different opinions. But my opinion is that God has anointed President Trump to do the job he's doing. And I think everybody should listen. I really do.
Mm-hmm. And, of course, we also got one of your first songs. We're going to play it for you as well, too. We're going to play the flag. But first, listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen to over 35 podcast platforms: Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Also follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with musician, director, singer, songwriter, producer Kenny Lee here on the Mike Wagner Show, and we got one of his first 4 songs out we're going to play for you called The Flag in honor of Memorial Day. Here's The Flag from Kenny Lee right here on the Mike Wagner Show.
I've had holes blown through me, torn, stepped on, burned to hell. Some even spit into my face. take a knee and our country is disgraced. Blood's been shed on me like rain. I felt their tears in every stain. No matter what you put me through, you can believe I'll always stand for you. Raise me up over the battle. Wave me from sea to shining sea. I'm the red, white, and blue. I'm here for you. Stop the hate and let's join hands and try and come together and make America great again. Monuments are coming down. They're pulling statues to the ground. History can't be replaced. Where men have died, time can't be erased. I've covered coffins coming home. I'm folded in a widow's hand. Many a wounded, dying man have held me ragged in their hand and raised me up over the battle. Wave me from sea to shining sea. I'm the red, white, and blue. I'm here for you. Stop the hate and let's join hands and try to come together and make America great again. Raise me up over the battle. Wave me from sea to shining sea. I'm the red, white, and blue. I'm here for you. Stop the hate. Let's hold hands and try and come together. Let's all come together and make America great again. Great again. I'm the flag.
Great song by Kenny Lee, The Flag, here on the Mike Wagner Show. And before we go further with some of your music, tell us all about The Flag and what inspired you to write that song.
Well, Mike, I was, it was during the time when they were kneeling at the football games, the NFL and all that, And I seen that that one guy, the first one, he took a knee when they were doing the the national anthem and stuff, and that just got to me so bad. My father, fought under that flag. My grandfather and his father, in America, and that's not respecting America when you do that. When I saw that, it just went all over me, man. And I said, you know what? The flag needs to have a voice. It needs to talk. It needs to speak. So that's what I did. Was I gave the flag a voice in song. One line, I've had hoes blown through me, torn, stepped on, blown to hell. Some even spitting in my face. They take a knee, and our country is disgraced. And I love my country. Mm-hmm. And I can't stand to see somebody disrespect the flag. I can't stand it or our president.
Mm-hmm. And that's very important as well, too, as back in the day, the flag was being stomped on and everything else. But now it's just like you don't see or hear much of it, and makes you wonder. It's like, are people reluctant to, watch people burn flags or something? Or is it like nowadays showing more respect with Trump being president?
I think they're showing more respect with Trump being president because they know that Trump's not going to put up with that. Mm-hmm. And I believe there is a law either been passed or being passed. If you burn the flag, it's a federal offense. Mm-hmm. And I think rightfully so. Nobody should ever be allowed to burn the flag, the symbol of America. Mm-hmm. That's slapping our soldiers and our men who died and women who died on the battlefield in the face. That's spitting in their face, just like the song says. It's not what anybody. If you're a true American, you should not ever do that or allow anybody to do that. Those are fighting words. Those are fighting things that you. If I see somebody burn a flag in front of me or step on it or stop it, they're going to get stomped by me. And I may get my butt kicked, but I'm going to take up for our country, buddy. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to allow that.
Uh-huh. And, of course, one of my exposures to all this, and of course I'm being a baseball fan, Rick Monday from the Chicago Cubs back in 1976 actually saved the American flag from being burned at Dodger Stadium when they were playing on July 4th in 76, and I remember watching that game, and two teenagers, I guess, came down from center field, tried to burn the flag. Rick Monday from the Cubs came in, just took the flag and put it out, and those two teenagers got arrested. And I have to say this, I think that made the most significance so far of what I've seen so far, even from a baseball player.
Yes. Well, I agree with you. That was something else, and I am proud of him for doing what he did. I'm ashamed of the ones who were trying to burn it. And a lot of people, today is not like it used to be. 20, 30 years ago, people had a lot more respect. It was the foreigners that didn't have respect for our flag. Iran and all them, they still don't. But, but you hardly ever saw that in America. It would happen some, but not that much. But that's the symbol of America. That's a symbol of freedom. Why? You cannot be a true American and burn the flag. You cannot be a true American and stomp on the flag. That flag is sacred. Mm-hmm. And there's many of them, but it's the symbol that you're trying to destroy, the symbol of freedom. And I'm sure everybody likes being free. If you want to burn the flag, step on the flag, well, you don't need to be free. We're just like President Trump is, I think he's working this up. I've heard this, that it's going to be a felony if you stomp or spit or burn the flag.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's also true as well, too. And, of course, speaking of President Trump, we're going to play a back-to-back on the Mike Wagner Show Trump card, and we're all trumped up. We'll get to those in just a minute, but first listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Look on a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check the Mike Wagner Show on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and over 35 podcast platforms. Take the Mike Wagner Show on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Also follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with singer, songwriter, multi-talented Kenny Lee here on the Mike Wagner Show. We played the flag earlier, and right now we're going to play back-to-back involving President Trump with the Trump card, and we're all trumped up right here on the Mike Wagner Show with Kenny Lee.
Listen up. It's it's time to make America great again. Trump, 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 take their place. They all end up the same, disgrace upon their face. The more our leaders lie, the more they swear to tell the truth. What's the country coming to that's already gone to hell? We got riots on our streets, and when the cops are called in, they can't even do their job because of Ferguson. Racial leaders run their mouth, the stories they do tell. What's a country coming to that's gone to hell? What's a country gone to hell coming to? The cards are stacked against us, and we all know it's true. Well, it's time to stop corruption. The Trump card's overdue. What's a country gone to hell coming to? Truth, it's all over CNN. Private servers serve the wicked. Benghazi never ends. There are evil people playing God. Baby parts are now for sale. What's a country coming to that's already gone to hell? Our jobs are getting fewer. Corporations giving in. Most have moved overseas, it's killing us, my friends. We struggle here in the USA, white collars turning blue. What's a country that's already gone to hell coming to? What's a country gone to hell coming to? The cards are stacked against us, and we all know it's true. Stop corruption, the Trump card's overdue. What's a country gone to hell coming to? Illegals cross our borders, and we gladly let them in. We feed and clothe and shelter them, taxes paid by Americans. ISIS wants to kill us all, what are we gonna do? What's a country gone to hell coming to? Well, there once was a time when AIDS meant relief. Over 6 million died, still it's hard to believe. Our courts keep passing laws that let the devil rule. What's a country torn apart, gone to hell coming to? What's a country gone to hell coming to? The cards are stacked against us, and we all know it's true. Well, it's time to stop corruption. The Trump card's overdue. What's a country gone to hell coming to? What's a country gone to hell coming to? Way down, collusion debunked, exposing the clowns. Promises kept from promises made. Blue collar take our guns from my cold, dead hands. Trumped up, we're all trumped up. Trumped up, we're all trumped up. Trumped up, we're all trumped up. Trump, 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 we're all Let's keep America great. Trumped up. Trumped up. Keep America great. What are we? We're all trumped up. Keep America great. Trumped up. Trumped up. Keep America great. Trumped up. Keep America great. Trumped up. We're all trumped up.
That was a classic back-to-back from the Mike Wagner Show with the Trump card, and we're all trumped up with Kenny Lee here on the Mike Wagner Show. And tell us all about Trump card, and we're all trumped up, and what inspired you to write those songs?
Well, the 2016, the Trump card was a campaign song for Donald Trump during that time, and I actually got to do a photo op with him, and he thanked me for the song. The song actually went number one throughout most of the nation, and it was independent release, but I was happy with what happened with it. But anyway, I got to meet the future president there, and got to talk with him there and do a photo op with him. It was a nice photo op setup, and did a good job. Taking that photo was something else. I'm gonna tell you a little story about that. You guys might enjoy this. Let's just show you what kind of guy Trump is. We sat there, and this is before the thumbs up thing started, okay? We stood there, and we just stood side by side, and, I put my arm on him, or he put his on me, and we touched that. He looked at that picture, he said, "Nah, that ain't the one. That ain't good enough. But do it again." We went back and forth with that probably 7 or 8 times, and then the very last shot we took, he put his thumb up. I said, well, okay, I'll follow. So I put mine up.
And I can see right here on Reverb Nation as well.
Yeah, and that, I think that everybody tells me that's the start of the thumbs up thing. So maybe I made history in that one picture.
We'll have to verify with the rest of social media and make sure it's not fake news, as some people say. We'll get some people to research on that one. So,
actually, I think it is. I've been told it was, and if it is, that's cool. That's cool. If not, it was a good shot. but I've been told by a lot of people that was the first time. That's right, because I didn't see any thumbs up before that ever. I didn't, and nobody else did, because I asked around a lot. But hey, we can have it checked into and find out, can't we?
Mm-hmm. And I think so as well, too. And of course, I think we also talked about We're All Trumped Up, and tell us about that song and what inspired you to write that one.
Okay. Well, let me finish the other one real quick, and I'll rush it up. Okay. I went on the Trump card tour, we call it, and I went touring around with the president and stuff, and doing shows here and there and all this stuff. And they used the Trump card song somewhat, and not everywhere, but some of them. And I got to perform down in Mar-a-Lago for a benefit, and at Trump's place down there, I performed at the White House, in the White House grounds. I mean, it just led to a whole lot of things. It was great. But anyway, the new song is We're All Trumped Up. And that song, we're doing a We're All Trumped Up tour. We had to postpone it because of this virus thing. It was supposed to the first show was supposed to be on the 18th of this month, April. No, not April. The 8th. Cut that, Mike.
I think that was back in March, but it's okay though. So it's okay to make mistakes on the show. I got to say this. So it's okay to make mistakes because we are human.
Yeah, it was supposed to be April the 18th, actually, the first show. We had to change the date to that because we weren't quite ready. But then the virus came and it kind of shut us down for a while. But we're planning on starting that back up, I hope, very soon, maybe in July, Depends on how the country is doing in recovery. But we're, meanwhile, in between all that, but the We're All Trumped Up song kind of goes with the We're All Trumped Up tour. That's what I was trying to say. And it's a new song. It's a like pick you up song, and for the president, campaign song, like a rally song. And that's what it is for our tour when we started. Got a lot of great people working on that tour. I got some really close friends. People are working very, very hard on that. And even with us down right now, waiting on this virus, we're still working on it. Just still pushing it. We're joining up people to vote for Trump to keep America great. And we you can look us up online on that. And if you want to donate to it to help us fund this thing, because we need it, and it's we're all trumped up tour.com. We're all trumped up tour.com. You can go there, and there's and you can get the tickets for the show and stuff once we line it back up. But it's a free show. People, all that we ask you to do is come in and donate, or donate before we do it.
And where's the show going to be at again, since you say it's for free?
Well, one of them's going to be, I can't set dates now because of this, but we're looking at Tulsa, Oklahoma. We're looking at, we were going to start this past month in El Paso, Texas, which is a battleground spot. We're planning on one in Hawaii, one in Alaska, and several other big locations throughout the United States. I don't know how many we're going to actually get to do now that we're going to be starting behind, and then if we get to start, and I hope we can, because we need to take that house back over bad, and that's what We're All Trumped Up tour is all about, that and supporting our president.
And of course, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, but I was going to say, too, we also, focus on a theme of Memorial Day. We never came home and talk about your next movie. But first, listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look on a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition way. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can also check out the Mike Wagner Show on over 35 podcast platforms on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Also, follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with singer, songwriter, musician, the multi-talented Kenny Lee here on the Mike Wagner Show. We played some of his music. But right now, we've got another one which celebrates Memorial Day, or remember those on Memorial Day. It's We Never Came Home from Kenny Lee right here on the Mike Wagner Show.
Delta Company. There is an enemy machine gun on the other side of the hedgerow, perhaps 20 yards away, and there are snipers on both flanks. The machine gun has killed 1 man and wounded 6 so far.
You guys are on your own, buddy.
I never will forget that dreadful day as my brother on the battlefield slowly slipped away. I held him in my arms. He was clinging for dear life, holding tightly to a picture of his kids and his wife. He fired his last shot as the dark came rushing in, with a bayonet in my side. I knew this was the end. We never did come home. Linger in my mind on and on. We never did come home for eternity. We never did come home. Christmas time with family, things don't seem right. My brother's youngest child won't see his daddy tonight. But there lays his picture in that young man's hand, wondering when will his daddy come back home again. Then the bombs start going off, the enemy's moving in. They're calling out my name, God help, I'm going insane. We never did come home. The ghosts linger in my mind all night long. We never did come home for eternity. We'll roam. We never did come home. Oh, I really shouldn't be there. My thoughts should be here. Lord, but I keep going back. Oh, these ghosts won't disappear. I'm watching as my brothers fall, all for one for all. I'm just a dead man walking. Should I be here at all? We never did come home. The voices linger in my mind, on and on. Oh, we never did come home. Through eternity, we roam. We never did come home. No, we never did. We never did come home. God bless our soldiers who gave their all to you and me so that our country could stay free.
Kenny Lee with We Never Came Home here, this Memorial Day edition of the Mike Wagner Show. And Kenny, tell us more about that song and what inspired you to write the tune.
Well, the words and the lyrics in that song is actually a story my father told me long ago about, and it was a neighbor of ours too, and it was a real true story. And you know, so many soldiers never really get to come; they never come home after you would experience stuff like David experienced. You don't even look at life the same anymore. They have a lot of hard times now. A lot of them, especially after any war. But Nam was pretty hard on a lot of our guys and a lot of our women and stuff. And that PTSD is a very real problem. But that song's all about that, and it starts out, I never will forget that dreadful day when my brother on the battlefield slowly slipped away. I held him in my arms. He was clinging for dear life, holding tightly to a picture of his kids and his wife. Think of what these guys went through, and this is, like I said, that's a true story based on a true story, totally true, about one of my father's experiences. I was one of the guys, I was probably one of the few people he would talk about the war and stuff, and he'd hold back somewhat, but because it really bothered him to talk about it. And I hate it. He didn't want to die in a hospital bed, from Agent Orange. I mean, Daddy always told me that. He said, son, if I pass away, I'd much rather pass away on the battlefield fighting for our country. And that's a patriot right there. That was, he loved his country. He loved his country, and he was a great dad, great man. I always get a little choked up when I talk about my dad. We were so close.
Right. Yeah. And it does make sense as well, too. And, of course, he talked about PTSD being like a huge problem, especially in the military. And, how can one person, reach out to get help for PTSD? What are the options out there right now?
Oh, there's several places you can go. You just got to get online and look it up. There's lots of help you can get. But the thing I find out most, and I don't understand, is a lot of the soldiers, they don't feel like I don't know how they feel that, but they don't ask for help. Maybe it's pride, but a lot of them don't want help. I mean, some of the homeless veterans don't want help, and it's like they're punishing themselves, like they're guilty, and they don't feel like they're worthy of it. Man, they are. You guys, if you're listening right now, you are worthy of it. You are our heroes. Please go get help. Just, go and, find out some information. You can find it anywhere online, but probably a lot of you in the homeless area don't have that. So ask somebody, anybody, just tell them you need help. If you want to take the help, just tell anybody. They'll help you get to it. Get some help, I'm sure. Anybody walking down the street, there are some people out there that have good hearts. And, I hardly ever see a veteran on the street corner begging for money. But you do see a lot of people that aren't veterans begging for money. Mm-hmm. These guys, they're used to roughing it because they did that. And help them out, give them jobs, put them to work. I think that's what we need to do, and then understand, the problems that they're having and stuff, and send them to counseling and stuff, and just help them, pick them up. Those guys don't deserve to live on the street. Some of them think that's what they got to do because they don't want to ask for help. It's just crazy. My dad, for one, he never filed for that Agent Orange thing that they had to get that Agent Orange money. He never did, never would. He said no. And, he just said no. He's like, he felt guilty because, there was one battle that he was in where everybody pretty much got wiped out, and he's responsible, he felt responsible for their lives. And that ate him up to the day he died. And I think they feel like, they came home in a way, but those other ones never came home. And the ones who died on the battlefield, and I just think they just didn't feel like they was worthy. They more in their heart wanted to help them, but they can't. They're gone, But that guilt inside of them, and I think I'm speaking for a lot of soldiers, a lot of sergeants, and everybody, and they're all comrades, they're all brothers when they're in the battlefield. But I think I'm speaking for all of them. According to how my dad felt, they just didn't feel like they wanted any help because they felt like maybe they let their brother down in some way or something, and and they really didn't. They couldn't help that. But I could understand feeling that hurting inside. I mean, can't you, Mike? It's got to be really grinding away at them, And I know it was my dad. Mm-hmm. It was just a terrible thing to watch him go through the rest of his life.
Mm-hmm. And of course, getting back to Agent Orange as well, too, that he was offered, some kind of compensation. And what was a compensation, per person for Agent Orange if they were to accept?
I think it was. Don't quote me on this because I don't know for sure. I didn't get into that side of things. My brother was the one that handled that for my mother after my father died because she needed the extra money to get through. So, but I think it was like $1,800, $2,000 a month extra, for them. And y'all need to check into it if anybody's listening. I can't give you an exact number on that because I don't know. I'm not the one that did that, set that up for my mother.
No, that's fine. You don't need to give an exact amount or anything like that. At least just get some ideas. And I
there
think,
is compensation.
Right. And I think around that time, I think it was, what was it? Agent Orange was like the 70s or 80s or something. I think that was like a really good amount back then.
Yeah. And actually, if any of them still around and stuff, it's still that way. So, but if you don't ask, you're not going to get. and you're probably too proud to ask. You were just proud to fight for your country and fight alongside your brothers in the battlefield. But if you have Agent Orange, it's going to eat you to pieces. And if any of you families have fathers or moms that have Agent Orange, get them help. Get them some help with that. There are some things that can be done to ease that. But this, it was sad to watch my father, Pat, die with that. He ended up having holes in his lungs at the end. There was holes in his lungs. They put him on this breathing machine and everything, and to put stuff down him, and just to keep him alive. And I got there, I had already been there, and I had to leave, and I had to do the fan fest thing here in Nashville. And I rushed right out of there because I had been called and said, well, Daddy didn't look like he was going to make it. So I got down there real fast, and the most amazing thing happened. I whispered in my dad's ear. I said, Dad, this is Kenny, I'm here. And he lifted up out of that bed and turned around and looked at me. I don't know if it was telling me goodbye or asking me for help. But then he fell back down. But he had the strength enough to lift up and look at me. And then we all had to make a decision, I had to be a part of that, and I will never, ever, but, I don't know. That last moment, I don't know if he's asking me for help or he was telling me goodbye. It was one or the other. Mm-hmm. But he made strength enough to do that. Mm-hmm. And, that decision nobody should ever have to make. And a lot of people have to make it.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And of course, it's one way to remember Memorial Day for those who fought and died for our troops as well, too. You also got involved in the movie as well, too, called Untamed Justice. And tell us all about that. And when do we expect it to be out?
Well, I'm not sure when that'll be released or out. We're just now actually getting to start filming it. We'll be coming up in the near future. We'll be doing this in New Mexico and some other areas around. Also, another one we're working on too is called Gold Portal, and several others actually. But this is the first one we're working on, and we're excited. It's an independent film. I'm the director and producer, and the main actor. So
You're multi-talented. What can we say? Maybe you can sing in this one too. So,
well, I am. I'm doing the whole soundtrack for it. but yeah, I mean, I've been in the film business for a while, and this is my first full movie directing and all that stuff and producing. But I've done documentaries. I've already directed and filmed documentaries, some short story movies and stuff, and that kind of thing. This is a full movie, a full-blown 2-hour movie. And it's going to be a lot of fun. We have a female hero in there. She's a deputy sheriff. She takes over after her father dies and the sheriff of town. And she's like the female hero. Everybody likes to see a female hero. Mm-hmm. And in the beginning, me and my sidekick Cooper, which is my buddy Jimmy, and we're standing on the noose, and we're all got the noose around our neck. We're going to be hung because after the Civil War, we went crazy and started, robbing banks and trains and stuff and giving to help, kind of like Robin Hood thing. But we're about to pay the price for it. But Terror rides up real fast and stops the hanging, and he says, "A message from the president." And the president the word. He said, he said that I'm to be pardoned, but not Cooper. But I ended up getting Cooper at her too, but by another message that was for the marshal. So I say, hey, I just make it up at the time. Say, hey, it says here on this paper, Cooper's pardoned too. So it's a fun movie, a lot of action. A whole lot of action and some comedy. I like comedy, so I got my doing stuff like that. I got little lines stuff. I just like to make people grin a little bit. It's not
That was interesting. In fact, I think we went over some of your favorite musicians and singers and everything else, but how about some of your favorite comedians growing up, now that you mentioned it?
Well, if you go, they wasn't so much comedians, but as a singer and comedian, which was Dean Martin. I loved Dean Martin, Jerry Lewis, people like that back then I loved. After I got a certain age, all I do is work, so I don't get to watch none of that hardly now. But, there was a lot of good ones back then, and there's not so many good ones nowadays. I don't know what happened. I guess they lost the true tack of doing things. I don't know, but I always like, when you watch the John Wayne movie, he always said something kind of smart-aleck, but funny at the same time, Like, nah, I ain't going to hit you. I'll be darned if whatever. I ain't want to cuss on your shift. I'll be darned if I ain't. Then he hits him,
A little bit of sarcasm, you could say, too. A little bit of dry humor, wit, and everything else. He's a master at it. So
he was a master of that. And that's kind of what the dry humor is here, in a lot of ways. So there's one scene that the hangman Lim, he's got these crooked eyes. It looks kind of like the Jack Elam character, And he's forcing this noose around my neck. I'm fighting him off, but he gets it around there. And then I say, and I'm trying to take him off at the same time. I say, what'd you say your name was? Was it Lemon? And he chokes me with the noose, tightens it up. That wasn't it. That wasn't it. And then he lets the noose go, and I said, I can't say the word behind it, though. No, it was dummy, not dumb. It's done something else. But anyway, I turn around, give him that dry humor look. It was, something else. And then he looks at me all hateful and mean again. You guys got to watch this movie when it comes out. There'll be a trailer out first. So I'll make sure you get it, Mike, and a lot of people see it. It's called Untamed Justice. The movie is going to be great. It's going to be an amazing movie with humor, love, respect. One thing I won't allow is really bad words. I got to keep it real, so certain words that are not that bad, I let go. But when it comes to four-letter words and using the Lord's name in vain and like that, they are not allowed in this movie. I won't let that happen.
Mm-hmm. And rightfully so. And when will Untamed Justice be released? What's the target date for you guys?
It may be winter of next year. It may be January, February. I don't know. We'll see. There's no positive date on that yet.
Sounds great. And keep us up to date, and love to have you back on, talk more about the other projects, and a couple more minutes here with Kenny Lee here on the Mike Wagner Show. It's a special Memorial Day edition. Who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
Biggest influence in my career? I got a couple of them. Back when I was young and everything, my father played guitar and sang, and he's the one that taught me. Matter of fact, he gave me his guitar, and said, hey, if I don't make it back from Vietnam, this guitar's yours. I was like, oh, that was, that was crazy to me in that day. I was like, that made me more sad than it made me happy. Mm-hmm. I don't want this guitar, I want my dad. But he told me to rent. And then before he went back to Vietnam, the second time, he bought me a guitar for my birthday and said, okay, I'm giving you this stuff. When I get back, play me a song. I want you to write a song and play it. And I did. And the song was called Glory to God in the Highest. I'll never forget that song. But I did what he asked. And as far as the other parts of music and stuff in my life, the legendary Brooke Benton.
He's my favorite. Reggae Night in Georgia.
Yeah, I actually have a version of that song I do in his honor.
Uh-huh.
Reggae Night in Georgia. What a great song that was. And Brooke was a great guy. He's a really great guy. So I learned a lot from him, and he's just an amazing man. And then the voice of country music, Vern Gosling. I produced him and stuff and wrote songs with him, and we became good friends and stuff. I miss Vern.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Vern a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Vern were pretty close, and we wrote a lot of songs together. I produced several songs on him, and even the last song he ever recorded, I produced on him.
That is amazing, just working with such legends like that. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Anybody wanting to be in the music business or in it?
or it's like, best advice in general. It can be the music business or whatever, or best advice you can give to anybody at this point.
if it's something you love, take it all the way. Do not give up. Do not take any crap off anybody. Go straight forward. Do what you feel and what you believe, and you will be successful. Those who give up will never make it. Those who persistently stick at it and stay with it will make it and make a living out of it.
Mm-hmm. And that's the most important thing. Once again, the multi-talented Kenny Lee out of Tennessee here on the Mike Wagner Show. Kenny, a big thank you for your time. You've been fantastic on this Memorial Day. Looking forward to having you on soon. Once again, tell us about your upcoming projects, what's your website, how do people contact you, and where can people purchase your music or listen?
You can purchase the music right now off of we'realltrumpeduptour.com. That's where you can buy the latest albums and music and stuff. If you want the older stuff, just send me an email to klprecords@aol.com. And there's several albums from the past. You can get them there. You can't buy those in the store anymore or anything because they're way in the past. But all the new stuff, you're going to order it, you'll actually get CDs in the mail. I don't do the download thing. I just stopped doing the download thing because it seemed like everybody else was making the money. I wasn't making anything. I don't believe in that. I'm not going to name the names on them, but I just don't believe in doing it that way. The way I sell my music is directly through me and my company and stuff. And it works. I sell plenty of it.
That is fantastic. Again, Kenny, a big thank you for your time. You've been fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon as Memorial Day. Do us a favor, keep us up to date, and look forward to having you again soon. And God bless our troops.
God bless our troops. God bless our America and our president. And thank you all. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Thanks for listening to the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.